Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello.
Good morning, everybody.
This
How
is
is
this is
everybody?
the check-in on the world. That's what we should have called it. Coffee and check-in.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Okay, I just got a bell and there we
There
are.
we are.
Yay.
Hi, everybody. Help us share this out, please.
Okay.
Edda's here. Gabby's here. Hi, guys. Help us share this.
Everyone. Hi, Catherine. Wow. It's
Yes,
so good to see you all this morning. I missed you all so much yesterday. Okay.
sharing is caring, so help us share it out.
Okay.
Luann. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, we renamed the show for today. It's Coffee and Check In. So check in wherever you are in the world and let us know how you're doing. Hi, Catherine. Oh,
Angel,
I love that. That little emoji that says good morning. That's cute.
good morning, everyone. Oh, Gabby, I missed you all so much yesterday. I was sitting in the parking lot of just getting ready to leave of the VA hospital. I just found out that they were going to admit Sam. And good morning, Robert.
Hi, Robert. Hi, Deirdre.
Okay. Um, oh, thank you, Etta. You know, I want to say, and I'll do it again when more people come on again, but I want to tell all of you, thank you so much from Sam and I both. You know, he's had cellulitis before and it was life threatening the last time. We got it earlier this time and it's kind of a scary thing. But this time was so different for me because I could really feel all the prayers from all of you and all the love and support. And it went so much more smoothly. And at the VA in Gainesville, you hear horror stories, but they have saved his life no less than 3 times now, literally saved his life. And so I felt very safe in leaving him there. And I actually got a pretty good night's sleep last night. So I can't thank you enough, everybody. And Sam, we send our love to you because you got me through yesterday. It was a rough day. So
And
thank
you knew
you.
the angels were there. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's amazing. So, and good morning, Sally and Julie.
Sally and Julie and Diane Deagle.
Hi,
Hi,
Diane.
everybody.
Mm. And Etta says she hopes your visit to the doctor went well.
My visit did go well. It was an ultrasound of the heart, and I do have a heart.
I
That's
think
the
we
good news.
know.
They did find something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hear something in a few days if there was anything wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with my heart, but who knows? And I'm
Yeah.
not concerned about it. I feel great. Everything physically is going well. So yeah,
Yeah.
just the doctor just ordered it for whatever reason after my checkup with him.
And good
Hi,
morning.
Marianne.
And hi, Carol and Rose, Marianne. Oh my
Carol
gosh.
Allen came in. Hi, honey.
I feel like I've come home.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
Sherry Gatewood. I was over your way yesterday, Sherry. I was in Gainesville yesterday morning. Okay. And Gabby says your heart's too big.
Oh, is that the problem?
Yeah.
You wanted to find out why there was so much stuff in there.
Uh,
It probably on the pictures it'll probably come out as an angel shape.
probably. Oh my gosh.
But I was telling Jeryl Ann, I was so surprised at the ultrasound. I have never had an ultrasound of the heart before. And I envisioned that it was going to be that thump 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 that that we can feel it doing, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's like a squishy sound. And he's playing it and I'm going, oh my gosh. And it sounds like if anybody's ever heard an ultrasound of a fetus in the womb, that's what your adult heart sounds like as well, but just a little slower beat. And it was just so interesting. I'm laying there like, that's my heart. You know? like, wow. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everything's all right. So
Good. Oh, that's so.
I am intending for that to be the case.
And we have lots more visitors.
We do. Hi, everybody.
Marcia, and I see Charles. Hi,
Good
guys.
morning, Charles. And
Christine.
I love this. Um, Edna says, Teri, ma'am, we are all in your heart. That's why it was so big and so squishy. It was getting hugs.
Yeah. And good morning, Sharon.
And
Mm.
Lily Ann is here, and a new person, at least to me, I don't recognize it. Diane L. Nocera Hughes. Good morning to you.
Okay. Good morning, Diane. I don't see her yet. But good morning and welcome to the Angelic River family.
And Shal Sai is watching. Hello and good morning.
Good morning.
Christina Leftwich.
You know, I had a very interesting experience last night, Teri.
What
As
happened?
you know, we don't lock our doors here. We lock the screen door at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I just something I don't know. Without Sam here, I didn't feel as safe. So I went to lock the sliding door between the kitchen and the porch, right? I didn't know how to do it. I've lived here 11 years and I did not know how to lock the sliding door. There's
Right.
different locking mechanisms that you have to do just so. I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you, talk about hysterical. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't, I'm 62 years old and I don't even know how to lock this door. I did figure
Right.
it out. It was weird.
Well, good. I'm glad you figured it out.
Yes.
Thought you were going to tell me there was something out on the porch. I'm like,
No, 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 no.
and I want to thank Etta. She's reminding me that today my brother Gary is having surgery. So thank you for that. And let's please lift him up. He's probably at the hospital right now as we're speaking. It's a little early for me to call my sister, but I'm sure she's there with him. She's a doctor's physician's assistant. So I'm sure she's holding his hand.
And Sharon hopes that your scan went well and that Sam and I are doing okay. We're doing good. I did talk to Sam last night. As I was telling Teri earlier, I have the VA routine down. So he can't use a cell phone. So I have to call him on that landline in his room. And I talked to him last night. He was feeling better. The antibiotics were starting to really take hold. And then I'll call him about 9 this morning after they've done the morning rounds of blood and breakfast and all of that stuff. So we have over the years built up a routine for when he's in. It really works
Right.
out well.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to read Sally's?
Sally says I had to do a stress test for my heart, followed by an ultrasound. I have a functioning heart murmur. I've known most of my life that I did have a heart murmur, but it's always been insignificant. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to just intend, like I said, that it's all is well. And Sally, how is Tony? Didn't she have an appointment yesterday at the doctor? So let us know how that's going. And let's say good morning to Stacy Lord.
Hi,
And
Stacy.
Rick Morrow came in.
I hope things are better up in Orlando. I know a couple nights ago it was lots of sirens, kind of like you experienced, Teri, and lots of sirens and that.
Yeah, last night was bad. It was the worst that I've experienced it this far. And it was so close to my house that I could hear it. I could hear the yelling and the screaming, and the sirens were nonstop. So
How
it was,
scary.
yeah, it wasn't good.
That's
And I'm so grateful for Jeryl Ann. I'm grateful for you and Deirdre, and who else was with me last night? Was it Wendy? I can't remember now. You all were talking me down and keeping me calm during all of that because it was that close. It was like somebody standing right outside. That's how loud it was.
I would have been scared out of my wits, especially being by myself.
Yeah,
So,
and
and
Stacy also said it got scary for a bit and praying for this world. Yeah.
Sally said Tony's appointment, it again led to more appointments and no answers yet. So we need to continue to hold them up in our prayers. Do
Absolutely.
you see Deirdre? She's got some good news.
We need good news today, guys. Bring it on. So Deirdre says, some good news. A 17-year-old student formed a group called Student for Floyd. They protest, but more importantly, they clean all the sites that get trashed during the protests. It's a huge group of kids that are fighting this fight.
Wow. I have God bumps from head to toe right now. That is
I
so
heard
amazing.
I heard that was happening down in Miami as well, which I hope is true. My friend Joanne told me that they were doing that.
Thank you,
So
Deirdre. We really need to focus more on things like that right now,
we
as
need
best we
good
can. I
news.
mean, when you've got it going on all around you, it's pretty tough. But these are the things that I think that will lift us up and out of that darkness. Thank you, Deirdre.
Absolutely. We need to focus on what's going right, on what people are
Yes,
doing that's uplifting. Like yesterday, we talked about the police officers that were kneeling right with the protesters, things like that. The
right.
police officers that are doing meditation now. This is what we need to focus on
Yeah,
is what's the positive, and let's lift that up instead of focusing on the negative, the burning and the rioting and the looting.
right.
Let's bring our attention to the ones that are doing the right thing and doing it the right way. If there is a right or wrong, they're doing it the most productive way possible instead of the one that causes destruction. So
Absolutely.
absolutely, let's report all of that good news. I would say if you see something going on like that, report it to the news. Call them. Say, hey, would you all do a story on this?
Yeah.
Instead of constantly barraging people with what's happening that's not good in the world, let's focus on the other. Focus on the
And,
positive.
and
I've always said I wanted to have a good news show, where all they reported was what was going on that was good and uplifting in the world. Wouldn't that be amazing to have that?
yes, it really would be. Wow, there's so many awesome comments. Diana, good morning. And Prachir, he's asking how we're doing this morning. Catherine, oops, sorry. Catherine said there was a big protest. I need to go check and see what's going on. But
Okay.
did you
Yeah,
see
I got
that?
it.
Okay, cool. I know you do.
All right. Catherine said there was a big peaceful protest out in St. Augustine. And Sally. After speaking with Etta, she did a prayer ceremony for Tony, and it brought Tony out of this episode. Within the hour, Tony was up and creating again. I could hear the change in Tony's voice. Oh my gosh,
Wow,
thank you, Etta. Thank you for
it's
doing
so
that.
awesome.
That
That,
is awesome.
yeah, it
You're
really is.
amazing. And Etta, I just want to thank you too. You've been coming on to the seven generation clearing, and I really feel your energy there. I just feel so much beautiful energy surrounding you and coming from you and helping to lift the positive in the world. That's what this is doing. We're doing it every day. And I feel it's making a difference. I really feel like some prayers are being answered and the energy is shifting. So let's all intend that, and we're just going to keep doing it. For right now, it's going through Sunday, and every day we're going to come on at different times. So every country has an opportunity to get in there at your time zone.
Yeah. And good morning, Jean L'Oreal. It's nice to see you this morning. And Prashir asked about Sam, and he's doing well. I spoke to him last night. I won't talk to him till about 9. Once they've done blood work and breakfast and all of that, I'll give him a call. But he was starting to come back around. The antibiotics were starting to take hold. For those of you that I don't know if you know or not, he has cellulitis. And in fact, the young man at the VA said, I remember you were here last year. This is a reoccurring event for him. And I almost lost him last year from it. It had gone that far. I think he was in, I can't remember how long he was in the hospital, but but we caught it earlier this time and he's starting to feel better. So thank you so much for all the prayers and love. And Sam asked me to tell you all, thank you so much. He is so grateful. He really is a firm believer in the power of prayer because people on Facebook have brought him through. This is about the 4th or 5th time now since I've known him. So And Scarlett Patterson is with us this
Morning,
morning.
Scarlett. Morning, Carrie.
Terry, good
And
morning.
I like Stacy's comment. She said, "Good news show would be amazing." I
Yes.
really think it would, and I think it would help with the whole frequency of the planet if we had something like that. I think we should have one on every station,
Yeah.
and
I
just
know there are some places where they do that. I mean, I think there's some on Facebook and on YouTube and that, but I don't know the names of them or anything. But it is. I think we should have tons of them. We need it to
mhm.
offset. Um, okay. And Peggy Boyette, good morning.
Good morning, Peggy. And Diane Dingle says, "My dear husband had cellulitis for a long time. Lost him in November, but he had it for years.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to battle."
And all you have to do is bump it. Him is was on his leg and
Yeah.
is on his right leg, and you just bump it, and it starts that blood infection all over again. And the nerve damage has been done. So the doctor just said, just keep an eye on it. When it starts to get red and hot, then we have to get him back to the hospital and do the IV, the antibiotics. So yeah, it's you. He was sick the other day, and we thought it was a flu bug, and it wasn't. So
Hmm. Okay,
anyway,
so Carrie had something interesting happen last night.
okay.
She says, "Okay, so something rather odd just happened. My neighbor Mark is legally blind. He has super sensitive hearing. We were standing in our yards as the pups did their final business, talking with both of us talking when both of us turned our heads severely to the left, almost in pain. We were opposite, so we mirrored one another. I couldn't believe I heard what he heard. He seemed to react to it more than I did, but I definitely heard it. It was the highest pitched sound I've ever heard. It lasted only a few seconds. Piercing. And it actually happened last night.
Wow.
That is interesting. So I don't know. I know when I go to a certain place with one of my clients, there's a really high pitched sound coming from the wires. But I don't think you have wires like that around you, Carrie. I've been to your cracker box place and I can't remember them like that. So I don't know what that would have been.
Good
Very
morning.
interesting, though.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning, C.
I see. And Deirdre asked, "Can we get EWN televised?" Well, that would be amazing now, wouldn't it?
Uh,
Ruth actually saw the vision of the Broader Edge getting picked up by a network. And I think that could happen. And then,
I do too. That's an amazing show.
and it's
It,
on today at 5 o'clock.
oh,
We are talking about, what are we talking about today? I just went out of my head. I had it for a minute and then it's gone. Um, okay, it'll come back. Anyway,
awesome.
that's later today. But please, if you can, tune into that because those ladies are amazing. And Sheila Cash is leading the discussion today. And Sheila studied
Awesome.
with Barbara Marx Hubbard and very, very intelligent about all of that teaching, that philosophy, and she teaches it. So she is
Awesome.
awesome.
That is so great. And thank you, Peggy, for prayers for Sam's speedy recovery. I really appreciate it. I just can't even begin to thank all of you enough for lifting Sam and I up over the last couple of days. It's
Absolutely.
there's just aren't any words, and here's the other thing, Terry, that I now understand on a very visceral level. Good morning, Sherry Seymour. When I got to the VA yesterday morning, we pulled up to the emergency room. Now, we didn't know if I would be able to go in with him or not. And indeed, I could not. And so they took him away into the emergency room. And I was comfortable. We've been there so many times. They're such awesome people. But I had to go out and sit in the parking lot and wait. And then they called me and said, you can go home now because we're going to admit him. And my heart sank because in the past, every time he's had a medical issue, I've been right by his side. I was able to go with him, go into his room, get him set up, made sure he was okay, and then come home. And I couldn't do that. And it hit me how it must have been feeling for all these people out there whose family are in the hospital, who lost loved ones.
Oh,
I know Sam's coming out, you know, but as I sat in that parking lot, I couldn't fathom the pain, the excruciating pain that everyone out there must be going through because they can't be with their loved ones in the hospital or in the nursing home or wherever. And I'm very blessed, and I realized it because I know he's going to come out.
mhm.
But there were so many that couldn't, and to think that you can't be with them.
Yeah.
I felt it in a way I've never felt it before. I had compassion before, but this was in my gut. It was like a sucker punch.
Yeah, it is. And, I'm thinking about Stacy's friend, Tanya. We
Yeah,
prayed for her little girl that was in the accident, and she did pass. And that just breaks my heart when you're talking about this, that she couldn't be there for those last moments.
right.
And then they couldn't even have a proper funeral, memorial. They're doing it, I believe Stacy said, next weekend. But, to have to wait and then to revisit it later and have all that pain come back up from the loss that heavy again. Yeah, this is a tough time we're in. It
Yeah,
really is. And
it is.
yeah, we,
And
we have to have compassion. That's what's really coming up strongly through all of this, not just for the people that are, having such loss of freedom, but also loss of lives and
right,
loss of loved ones that we can't be with that are
right,
struggling and suffering through something.
right.
Yeah.
And we need to hold your brother up in particular. I just thought of that because he's in that hospital by himself. There's no one there to be with him before, to be with him after, other than the staff.
Hmm.
And it's just it.
Yeah.
You're right, Julie. It's
And I
really
know,
sad.
yeah, and I
Um,
know that it's scary for him.
yeah,
He's
of course.
he's 5 years younger than me, but still, he's not a young chicken. So it's it's difficult to go undergo surgery at any age, but especially as you get older, there's so much that could go wrong. So we're going to definitely hold him up today.
Absolutely.
And I did find what the topic of our show is today. It's immunity. And we're talking about emotional immunity, mental immunity, spiritual immunity, and what that's all about. It's like we sanitize right now, to give ourselves immunity against things physically, but what are we doing for all the other parts of us? So we're going to be discussing that today at 5 o'clock. It should be a very interesting discussion, to say the least.
Yeah, Sally says, and this is another interesting point of all of this as well. She says it's hard. Each time I have to drop Tony off, I die a little more. My heart is broken. And then they put her on steroids, which makes her forgetful, and she doesn't remember what the doctors say. Yeah.
Uh,
It who I can't remember who it was that was telling me yesterday that they had to drop their child off who had literally just turned 18, so they couldn't go in, and this poor 18-year-old didn't have the wherewithal, of course, to ask, at the emergency room, to ask the right questions or anything else. So there's the other frustration is, when it's your child and they're just, you know and this was one of those cases where they had just turned 18, so they weren't allowed to go in with them. And yeah, it's
yeah, even Sharon Boyle's comment. I
uh,
was getting really upset when my kids were sick here in the house and not being able to be as cuddly and close as we normally are, as we were advised not to hug at home.
yeah,
Well, that's an advisement. I think kids need that mother's touch.
yeah.
That's my thought. I really think they do.
Now here's a I think this is a fun, maybe good news kind of comment. Diane Deagle says, yesterday I asked for a sign from Donnie, my husband, who had passed. I had made bread, and when I took it out, there was a big D burnt into the top. I was so excited. How awesome is
He
that?
gave you that sign. I love it.
I
Yay.
love that kind of stuff.
I do too.
Okay,
And
it
thank,
was,
thank you, Donnie.
yeah, yeah. It was Sherry Seymour's grandson, Cam. I knew I'd heard it. I talked, Sherry called me yesterday to see if she could do, and thank you, Sherry. She called me to see if there was anything I needed. And she was telling me her daughter had to take her grandson to the hospital and she couldn't go in with him, so that's tough. That's really tough. Um, okay, let's just see. I think
So, what kind of day do you have today?
me.
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
oh my gosh, I'm like you. I'm bumper to bumper. I have a couple of meridian therapy treatments this morning back to back, and then I'm on Angel Heart Radio
Oh,
with Deb Goldberg. Deb, if anybody wants to know who the real Jeryl is, that is kind of this kind of crazy person, I'm being interviewed by Deb Goldberg today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Angel Heart Radio. And I guess she's going to ask me all about how I started my spiritual journey. And of course, my spiritual journey includes a lot of alcohol and drugs and different things in the process. So I am clean now, have been for quite some time, but we're going to talk about me, which is really weird. It's
that's
like,
awesome. And
okay,
just, she's actually doing back to back Angel Heart Radio shows today. At
okay,
1 o'clock, she's live streaming the Seven Generation Healing that
awesome.
I'm going to lead. So there will be that. And then as soon as that finishes, she'll start interviewing you.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I'm
so you ought to
excited.
spend a couple hours today on Angel Heart Radio because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Carol Ann, this is not right. She said, my ex's daughter is 14. When she broke her arm last week, he could not go in with her and had to stay in the parking lot.
Yeah,
Now,
that's what they're doing.
I know. Luckily, our friend Sherry got to go in with her grandson when he broke his arm
Oh,
this
good.
past week. Yeah, because
Well,
she took
how
pictures
old is
of
he
him.
though? He's very young, isn't
He's
he?
8. He's
Yeah.
8, and he's autistic.
Oh, yeah. So that
Yeah.
would make a difference.
So,
But
yeah, it
still,
was.
14 is young.
That's still
And
too
to have
young,
to
I think.
experience that all by yourself, I'm very sorry that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hope
there's
is
a
with
lot of
us.
stuff that there's going to be some healing for these kids down the road because
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
traumatic. That's traumatic.
Hope is with us this morning. Good morning, darling Hope.
Morning, Hope. I don't see you yet, so
She hasn't said anything yet.
oh, okay.
And
And
Edda says, our mom used to be very scared of the doctors and hospital, that her only prayer used to be that she doesn't have to go through any surgery. In fact, her passing away was so peaceful and immediate that the doctors arrived only after she passed away. The only two times she went to the hospital was when Prachir and I were born.
wow,
My mom was the same way, Etta. My mom had 13 kids at home with
wow.
the midwife. She was a strong woman. But after later in her life, she got cancer. And so then she had to deal with the doctors and the hospitals and chemotherapy and all of that. But most of her life, I don't remember, I think one time I remember her going to a doctor. She was a very strong, healthy woman, very
That's
healthy, and didn't have to do any surgeries or, anything that would require medical intervention. So
that's amazing.
blessings to your mom in heaven. I can feel her
Yeah.
energy. Yeah, she's so peaceful, very
And good
peaceful.
morning, Barbara. My dear
There's
Barbara.
Hope.
Hi, Hope.
We love it when you show up, Hope. You bring in that beautiful smile of yours.
And Barbara, say hi to my big brother.
Hi, Barbara. I see you now on there. Oh, you all are so amazing today. Thank you for being here.
It's so good to be back today. It's amazing how that through my day yesterday. I mean, granted, I took Sam to the hospital, but in a different, and I mean, in a different way, I really missed everybody and just being here. And uh, it is like having y'all to the house and sitting down and having coffee. Good morning, Barbara.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, this is what a great day. And it's raining here. I don't know. You can kind of see it's overcast behind me,
It's
and
raining
it's
here too.
raining there too. So
Mhm.
Florida's just getting drenched.
Yeah, we're supposed to have rain all week. I can't wait for this to clear up so I can go out and do some sunrises. I haven't been able to do that since I got home. It's been
Yeah,
rainy ever since I got home,
isn't that
pretty much
wild?
every morning.
I think I think the universe is cleansing the planet as best it can right now. It feels like it feels very cleansing to me. But I got to bring my plants in undercover because they're getting too much water.
Too much rain. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna have to do that. Uh, yeah. And she and oh, that's Prashir was replying to Sally. I can imagine what you must be going through. My father, who passed away 12 years ago, had motor neuron disease, in which I had to see him die a little bit every day. It was really very traumatic for us.
I'm
I
sure it
can't
was.
imagine.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. It is like watching somebody die from cancer and watching them
Yeah.
just dwindle down to nothing.
It's horrible. And Carol, you're right. We are all ARF junkies. Can't miss it. Absolutely.
Good. I'm so glad.
Isn't that a good kind of junkie to be, though?
Oh, Diane, we'll give it back. She says, we're getting your sun in heat now. I want my son back. You got to share that stuff, Diana.
That's true.
Don't be greedy.
And Barbara said it is much needed and welcomed. And she's absolutely right. We've had so much drought here, we've had so much dry weather, and we have so many wildfires here in Florida, and brush fires, electrical from lightning fires. So we really need to saturate stuff. So
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. And
you're
Sherry
right.
said she had rain and a lovely cool day yesterday.
Ah,
It was fantastic after the heat wave for months. I'm sure it was.
wow, Carol, it was 96
Oh,
there yesterday up in Maryland. Oh
and we're
boy.
going up there in that heat? What are we thinking?
And that's, we're not just going up in the heat, but it's in July,
I
and the teacher has agreed to teach us, but only to teach us outside where
Yeah,
there is no air conditioning for
that's
3 days in the
we
heat.
shall endure.
Yes, I said I would absolutely do. I don't care. I'll walk through fire to get that training. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. What can I say?
It's only like a month away,
I
so
know.
I'm
I
excited.
know.
I'm also excited about the end of this month. On the 28th, Enlightened World is doing a full day of live streaming from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. And we have some of the most amazing people coming with us this time that are going to do every half hour, somebody will be presenting something. And it's going to be some very different presentations this time. I'm excited about our lineup. And of course, we have Jeryl Ann, who will be doing the water blessing and teaching us about the energy of the water and how we can affect what
Yeah.
our water, what the molecules in the water are like. Even the water you're drinking, if you have
Mhm.
like a glass of water, you can say that I love you to it. You can say Vav Mem Bet. You can say
Bless
whatever
it.
is going to lift that water. So she's going to teach us about all of that.
Yes,
And
yes,
she's
yes.
with us every month. And I'm so happy that that happens because we need
Yeah,
that. Our water needs that in the world.
we
Now,
do.
I wonder if while it's raining, if we say that Vav Mem Bet and really be grateful as the rain comes down. What do you think, Joanne? Would that make a difference?
Water takes on the vibration of the energy that's directed to it. So it changes the molecular
Yeah.
structure. So if we are blessing the water as it's coming down and thanking it for how it's nourishing the planet, what it's doing for us, then it will take on that molecular structure of gratitude, love,
Let's
thankfulness,
do
whatever it
that.
is.
We're
So
all
let's
getting
do that
rain.
today.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
all getting rain. Let's go out and let the rain come over us and
Yes.
say thank
We'll
you.
type
I
that.
played in the mud puddles yesterday at the doctor's office in the parking lot. The parking lot has no drainage, so when I got out of my car, I stepped in a big mud puddle, and all the way in the door there was water. So yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I just put the words in, Vav Mem Bet. And what those, there are 72 Hebrew words for God. That's one of them. And that particular one, it takes water and takes it back to its divine state, its pure state of divinity, its state of purity. So not only on, water is, the water, there's 70% water minimum on the planet. There's 70 to 85% water within our bodies, same water. So we're raising the molecular structure in our bodies and on the planet. So we're raising the vibration everywhere. And so every single word we say, every thought we have, and this is why, this is one of the things I talk about, is the fact that we can heal ourselves also by our thoughts and our words. So if we're thinking negative thoughts, if we're saying negative words, the body resonates and responds, and it's like up to 85%. So it's resonating throughout your body at that vibration. So if we keep our thoughts and our words high vibrational, we help the planet and we help our bodies. So, oh,
Exactly.
and she asked, how do we spell that again? It's Vav Mem Bet. And I'm going to put that back in
Yeah,
one more time.
just scroll up. If you're seeing the comments, Hope, you can scroll up and it's there in the comments. But yeah, Louise Hay started sharing that with us so many years ago.
About
And
three decades.
talking
Yep.
to our bodies, it is that, it's what heals. Love is what heals. So the more positive and the more love we give ourselves, that's a healing energy we're putting into our bodies.
I love this. Sharon said she went out and she just let it fall on her face. She said
I
it was
love doing that.
wonderful. That is
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah, and remember to say gratitude. That's what we're saying. Talk to the rain. Talk to thank it for being here. You know, the Native Americans used to do rain dances to bring on the rain, and then they just enjoyed it. They were so grateful. They were grateful before it happened when they were doing the dancing, and
Mhm.
then after it happened, giving more gratitude. They would sometimes just even fall to the ground,
Yeah.
just giving gratitude for the rain that fell. I love that. So the more we can do that as well, give
Yeah.
gratitude, talk to the rain, say
Yeah.
thank you for being here. Thank you for what you're bringing to our earth and helping to water the plants and the trees and us, you know. So just go into gratitude with it.
Oh my gosh. Jean Loria says, guys, not to be competitive, but we are scheduled to have 104 and 106 for the next few days. Okay.
That's hard.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is hard.
Yeah.
I've been in those temperatures and it's not fun.
No. And Charles says it's a beautiful sun, bare feet in the wet grass in New York. Beautiful. That's awesome. Okay.
That
And
is
did you see
awesome.
way up above Sally's comment by any chance?
We'll have to scroll. Okay. I think we're talking about Tony still because her and
Yeah.
Etta have been having a conversation.
Yeah.
We focus on their finding a way of making so she can live a somewhat normal life. We focus on the positive and continue giving to others.
Yeah. And
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
I love that because, oftentimes, I think every time, when we are faced and I know a bit of the medical situation, it's to live a normal life is really really difficult, and it's not like, okay, it comes and goes. It's 24/7. And sometimes people get really caught up and just so focused on their own ill health that that's all they see, that's all they put out there. And what I love about Sally and Tony is that they're creating a healing center, and I think the more they get hit with bad health and issues, traumas, the more they go out to try to help others. And I respect that so much. That is so amazing to me, because oftentimes if we go outside of ourselves, it kind of helps us to move forward. But how many of us actually do that? So I'm kind of in awe of how they handle this whole thing. I really am. It's my you model for each and every one of us how we should all be. Thank you, both you, Sally and Tony.
Absolutely. And Sharon, I love your comments. She says, sometimes I will dance in the rain at night in the garden when the neighbors can't see me. Yeah, I love that idea. I
Yeah.
wonder if you have clothes on. my my friend that passed away a few years ago, he was one of the funniest people that I know, and he was the one that always said,
Mhm.
"Teri, life should be fun. We should go swing on the swing set every day." So I had him on my radio show one night, and we're chatting and we're talking, and he told me that he was uh, naked gardening. I'm
Oh,
going,
wow.
he was talking about his neighbors, and I was out there naked gardening. I'm like, what? So he sent me a video. He wasn't naked. He was just like a bag. But it's that energy of lightness, that energy of laughing at yourself.
Uh-huh.
Just lighten up. That's this whole world experience should be fun, and we tend to complicate it, don't we? We make
Mhm.
it more complicated than what it is. So
Yeah.
when we can go out and let the rain fall on our face and dance in the rain and just be us and let the energy flow. That's the best thing we can do, and make people laugh. That's what he always did. He always made me laugh. So whatever you can do to lift others' vibration, then
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah, and Sally, that's what Sally's saying again. She's saying, of course, that is so them, but this has been a 5-year struggle, and there were good and bad. Just stay focused on the positive, and that's not always easy to do. It you really have to dig deep sometimes to see the positive, and I commend that. Again, it's in every situation. I When we went through this, and it's certainly not is critical as what's going on with them, but I kept all the way over to Gainesville was okay. We caught it early. We look at it positively. They've taken care of them before. I just had to keep focusing on, and that's what each and every one of us can do, even with what's going on in these turbulent times. Look at that group of teenagers that are cleaning up after these riots that are happening. Look at just like the COVID, look at how a lot of us um, took the time, and how many of us were able to take the time to go within and to heal ourselves. We need to stay focused on the positive, yeah,
We
as
need
best we can.
Yeah. And I love you, Gabby Forrester. She says, haha, we have Naked Gardening Day once a year. It's great. People post amazing photos from all over, and there are lots of breast cancer survivors. Now,
Uh,
that's near and dear to my heart. So, thank you for posting that.
yeah, I do let us know, Gabby, in the future when it is. I want to check out those photos. I'm
I know
curious
what that
now.
day is.
Huh?
Know what
Yeah.
day it is. And Isabel is with
Yes.
us. Says,
Good
good morning.
morning.
I'm having issues with my phone or internet. It disconnects me, and I hope I can stay on through all of this live.
Okay.
So,
I
Isabel,
hope
and if you
so.
have any prayer requests, put them in there. I posted that. It's prayer request time. And I placed my brother in there, and Sam, and of course, Geraldine.
Yes. Thank you. And Terry and Etta, she said, kindly pray for Terry, ma'am's brother, Sam, and Tony to be healthy, happy, and strong. Kindly also pray for Prashir. He has been missing mom. He was not able to sleep last night. Also prayers for all of us to be happy and be together. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
And that's just it. And let's, of course, we want to pray for everything that's going on in our country right now. And not just here, this has kind of gone viral, if you will, all across the globe. There's protests and I know have been in the UK, Iran, many other countries are protesting. And, you know, the healing that needs to take place on this planet is great. And this is unfortunately become part of that process. So, but you know what? We know how to handle this.
We
You
sure
know,
do.
we started a couple of months ago. We're so far ahead of the game, guys, that look at look at how we made it through the virus. And I know the virus isn't gone, but look at each and every one of you brought a positive light to the table. And look at what a difference that made. And we're just carrying that. I think it just helped us to grow the muscle to deal with what we're dealing with now. And so we really, really need to honor each other and be grateful for each other and keep lifting each other up because we're lifting up the planet. And honestly, I am so proud and honored to be a part of this with you because together we're making a difference. We are making a difference. And
Yeah.
please
And
don't
Deirdre
forget
said,
that.
yeah, Deirdre said, wasn't this the second wave? And I truly believe in my heart that it is, Deirdre. I knew I got that message loud and clear while we were in COVID that there was going to be a second wave. And I believe this is it. And I
Yeah.
think we, like Jeryl said, we went through that. We have that experience now. And we know that the strength comes inside of us.
Right.
So, yeah, I was listening to an interview that Oprah did with, and I can't pronounce his name. It's Tick something. He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Buddhist people that gives out a lot of information and a lot of love. And he was talking about anger. And this child had asked him, "What do you do with anger? What do you do when you're angry?" And he's he answered with another question, "Where do you think that anger comes from?" And he says, you're looking at it like it's something you want to get rid of, that you want to push that anger outside of you. He goes, anger has a purpose. It's like mud. If we didn't have mud, we wouldn't have the lotus flowers. So
Oh,
anger can be
I
used
love that.
destructive way, and that's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with a lot of anger in our world. Let's figure out how we can be constructive with it, and what's the beautiful lotus flower that can grow out of that anger. So I loved that interview. I can post that in the River Family group. I was
That
listening
would
to
be
it this
nice.
morning, and I couldn't stop listening. Even when I turned the Zoom on, I was still listening because I didn't want to stop listening to him. He
Yeah.
is such an amazing man. But I will post that in the Angelic River Family group.
Thank you, Terry. And Diane Deagle asked prayers for brother-in-law in the hospital and his family. And I want to say good morning to Kim Chemistry. Hi, Kim. It's nice to see you with us this morning. I haven't seen you in so long. Um,
And Gabby asked for prayers for any animals in need. Yeah,
yes.
thank you, Gabby, for that. There's a lot of them, and so that's definitely. I volunteer with a group called Good Karma, and I've been getting messages all week. There's just so much need right now for these animals to find a forever home,
Absolutely.
and so I'm what a part of what I do is transport them to where they're going to go to their forever home.
And Kim says you have to have muck to appreciate beauty.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's what we are. We are a dual, system here, negative, positive, black, white, happy, sad. So it's really, we need to have those extremes sometimes to appreciate. So thank you for that.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
it's time for us to get into our meditation.
yes, it really is. So if we
Like I
did not
said,
read, go ahead, Terry, I'm sorry.
we both have busy days and back
I
to back.
know.
And
Okay.
well, we
And
absolutely get a rescue. Yeah,
yes, All
Yes.
of mine are. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's
Okay.
begin to breathe.
Yeah.
Just take that deep breath in and bring it right into your heart. As you breathe it in, start to feel a peace come over. Just listen to the beautiful singing bowl. And feel that peace. Focus right on that. There is nothing else at this moment. There's just beauty and your breath. Now, on your next breath in, add in some gratitude. Bring that gratitude way, way, way down inside. Gratitude for the rain, gratitude for the sun. Give gratitude for this very day that has happened. Gratitude for this collective of people that gather every morning to sit around and lift each other up. And now let's pull in love. We come here every day because we feel that love from one another. Feel it in your heart right now. Let that love just explode in there. Those little explosions of love. It's like firecrackers going off. But then the more it happens, it becomes a blaze inside of us. It becomes very warm, all the way from the top of the head down to your toes. Just feel that warmth happening inside of your body. And now feel the bubbles of joy that come up. When we clear the way with gratitude, with love, there's a happiness that's inside that we uncover. Just like we're digging down in the ground and we find the roots down in there. That's where our happiness is. Envision yourself giggling. Just giggle. Just let it out right now. You don't have to hold that bubble inside. When you giggle, when you laugh, your vibration raises through the roof. It's the best thing you can do for yourself to really lift you, to lift your vibration. Now feel that joy in your heart. Feel how good that felt to just let go. We make things too complicated and we get too serious with our lives. If we can just go into the flow and just let our energy surround us and hug us and show us love, self-love and self-care is essential. We have to give our self-love first before we can give it out to anyone else. And the more we love ourselves, the more we're going to want to pass that out into the world. So right now, just wrap your arms around you. Give yourself a self-hug and say, I love you to yourself. And sometimes it's easier to say I love you than to say I like you. Take that in for a moment. We criticize ourselves. We judge ourselves. We're constantly finding flaws inside of us. Maybe there's some competition in there or some comparison. There is no separation. So if you have trouble liking yourself, then what are you doing to others? There's some clearing happening. I feel that. Go deep inside. Go very, very deep right now. And see if you can say to yourself, I like you. I honestly like this person that I am. I like my thoughts. I like my feelings. I like my actions. If you're finding some of that hard to say, I like you to, then let's clear that. You have a choice. That's your superpower. We all have choices. So if there's anything that's coming up that's not allowing you to say, I really like you, I enjoy the thoughts that I have, I enjoy the feeling in my heart that I have. Let's try that again. Take a deep breath in and say, I really like you. I enjoy being me in this lifetime. All my little things that I consider flaws, other people look at as me being myself, being original. There are no imperfections. Everything is perfect inside of you. See yourself the way God sees you, the way the angels see you. They see only love. And your beautiful animals look at you. They don't see the blemish on your face. They don't see the gray streaks coming into your hair. They only see love. Let's give some more love inside, some more self-love. So again, after you've done that little bit of clearing out, just focus on yourself and say, I love you. I really, unconditionally love you. Wow. Feel a lot of tears with that. I've got them myself. So let's ask Archangel Raphael to come in. And Archangel Raphael, we ask you to touch our hearts right now. Touch our very heart. Let us know that it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go of expectations and attachments and criticisms and judgment and anger and anything that's in there that's causing us to stop the flow of love. Help us to be open with ourselves, be honest with ourselves. If there's a place inside that needs healing, help us to heal it. And then let's call in Archangel Michael. If there's anything that you let go of just now, maybe there was that one little thing you were holding on to, that thing that was always there, that was churning inside of you, and maybe you didn't even know what to call it. If you can just let that go, let the angels take it, and asking Archangel Michael right now to cut any cords, any ties to that emotion, any ties to that belief system, that old pattern, and go into the new paradigm of acceptance, of openness, of allowing love into your life. Let's do that now. And Archangel Michael, we ask that you cut all of those cords and seal up that place inside that was so full of hurt. And we give gratitude for those angels that helped us now get to a place where we can focus our love now on those who are in need, all of those that were placed into our circle, all of those who are hurting, who are ill, who are alone, who suffered a loss and are in the grief process of that loss. Anyone we placed in that circle for whatever they're going through in their life, let's turn our love to them, our full unconditional love, focusing on all these requests, covering it with the energy of love, that beautiful white blanket of peace that falls over after we give the love. Just cover them all up in that blanket, wrap them up like they're a baby, like we're swaddling them, and then hand that over to the angels. Turn it over to God, because we know that's where the prayers are being lifted to our Creator. And watch now as that is taken from us. That blanket with all of those requests is being handed over with love. And we no longer feel the burden of it. We let it go. We lose the attachment to the outcome because it's not for us to decide. Each of those that we put in the circle have their own path. So we ask that God look at the requests that we placed in there for them and that it be answered for their best and highest good. And God, we place our earth in that circle. We ask that every inhabitant on earth will feel that peace, will feel that blanket, that white light of love, that it will travel through every heart today. That's our intention and that's our prayer. Let there be peace on earth. Let us all do our part to bring that about. Let us look at how we can make a difference, how we can make an impact. What can I do? Let that be in each of our hearts and each of our minds today. What can I do? How can I help? And let's give gratitude now. Gratitude to God, gratitude to the angels, gratitude to ourselves. Feel that gratitude in your heart. Let's take a deep breath in. I felt a peace that fell over the whole collective here, so let's take that in. Oh, such beautiful energy, such loving, compassionate souls that gather here at this gathering. You are so loved. You are so beautiful. Let's share that love now. I feel there are some tender hearts still that are feeling the love. It may be the first time you fully told yourself, I like you, I like you, and I love you. And let's say that to each other. Whew. Let's turn to the one on the left and let's say to them, I love you. I
I
love
love you.
And then bring it around the circle, and bring it into your heart. Hold it in your heart. I'm just loving this feeling. Oh, wow. And let's give gratitude to each other, to the whole collective that's here anyone who will gather with us later on that can feel this love as well. Let's say to each other, thank you first. Let's feel that gratitude. And then, I love you. So, on the count of three, we're going to do it all together. One, two, three. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I
I love you.
love you. Oh my gosh. That was so emotional today.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I loved it.
That was such healing energy. Wow.
Yeah. And good morning, Josie and Rick. So good to have you with us. And Jordan De La Rosa is with us as well. I'm so glad you were able to pop in and join us.
And I see 22, which is that huge angel number. Where's our Carrie? Carrie's our numbers gal.
Oh,
She's
I
seeing
know.
numbers so much right now. Uh,
Yeah.
Thank you all for your love.
Thank
Wow. I really felt that that was so emotional for a lot of you. I was feeling into that energy and I felt tears. I couldn't stop them. They just kept coming.
I love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh. That was amazing, Terry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
So join in if you wish at 9 o'clock. Mira Rubin. Mira is one of the Broader Edge ladies and very, very loving and gets right to the core. So she does the core connection for about 15 minutes or so at 9 o'clock. And then right after that is our own Diana going to the playground and always bringing a beautiful experience. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to do the 7 generation healing again. That's 7 Eastern time. And then 2 o'clock, Jeryl Ann will be on with Deb Goldberg on Angel Heart Radio.
Yes. And then at
5,
5,
5 o'clock, the Broader Edge.
church. And then at what is today? Thursday? And then at 7, we have Forever After with Diana again as well. And
7
she has Katori on with her tonight. So
tonight.
they're offering to do readings, but you have to private message Diana. And if you're interested, she can do a couple on the air. So that's going to be a great show as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you,
Okay.
Diane.
So it's a full day, guys. This is going to be an amazing day. Feel the energy. And keep saying to yourself all day, I like you.
Yeah.
It's so different from the energy of I love you because you're really going into acceptance
Yes.
when you do that. You're accepting, yes, there may be some things in there that I need to work on, but at least I'm acknowledging it and I like that I'm doing something about it. I like you. And I like me. I do like me. And I couldn't always say that. So
I
I'm happy that I can say that. I
I
said,
know. Me too. When you said that, I was like, and I've said this lately, it's like, you know what? I don't regret a thing in my past because it's got me right where I am and I like where I am. I like who I am. And like you said, there are always things we need to, fluff up or, heal or, transform. But when you can genuinely go, oh, I really like you and I like who you are now. And for my whole life I didn't. That's why I was an addict. And I loved it. So thank you, Terry. That was really special to me. I really loved that.
Sally says that's a hard one for most people, and
Yes.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
But the more you can go into that, let that be your mantra today. I like me. I
Yeah.
like. Don't worry about who says it or who hears it or hears you saying it.
Yeah.
You're saying it. That's what's important. And Sally, I saw your comment. You felt me pinging off your forehead. Yeah, I was.
And Kim says, love that seven generation session. Amaze balls. Yes.
Guys, it is making a difference. I feel the shift that's happening. And after these 7 days of doing it, I can't imagine how much that energy is going to shift.
Yeah.
So if you can participate in it even one time, it's worth it to
Yes.
do that. And tomorrow, it's going to be all in Spanish.
Awesome.
My dear friend Lily Ortega is going to do that in Spanish. She
Yes.
has the script And we're hoping to reach a whole new culture that again has been discriminated against and has felt that racism with other people as they look at the Hispanic culture. So absolutely, we're going to heal a lot of energy this week, and we're hoping that you can join in. And Gabby, you'll be there. Yay. I love when you come in with Jack. We get to meet Jack when we do the 7 generation session because
Awesome.
Jack sits right there with her.
Cool.
All right, so we're getting off of here. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.